Good morning. Good morning. Thank you for tuning in to Choices Now TV. I won't be before you long. I always start off like that, but I just want to come to you today with regards to final expense. Final expenses. This is a term often used uh, when we are preparing for the end of our time. A lot of people will put those measures in place by purchasing certain types of insurance. And then there's some that will, for whatever reason, they don't get it. They can't afford to get it. Whatever the case may be. But what I want to talk to you today about is just some general information. First of all, let me provide you with a website. I was doing a little research and I found this website. It has a information. Wealth of information. They really did their due diligence in finding out this information. I mean, I'm a person, I love a one-stop shop. Okay, a one-stop shop. So the name of the company or the website you can go to is called consumeradvocate.org. ConsumersAdvocate.org. Consumersadvocate.org. This site not only has information about pre-need, about final expenses, it has so many other things here that will blow your mind. If you just take a little time to go to this site, it's a free site. Now, the site, of course, they are being monetized by the people that they're sponsoring. They've done their research, and they get a little compensation for that. But the information is there. Now, once again, I don't push any one site. I don't push any one site. But when I come across something that is relative, okay, that's relevant, that will give you the information that you're looking for all in one place. Once I give that to you, then by all means, go ahead and do your own research. Go to some different sites. It's go to the actual, when you go to this particular site, I want you to look around. You don't have to sign up or anything like that, but just look around the site, just get a feel of it, and see what it has to offer. I was blown away by it. So once again, we're going to talk about final expense today. And final expense, this is a type of insurance. This type of this insurance is a type of permanent life insurance policy used for funeral and burial payments. Okay, that's what the final expense insurance is. Now, I'm taking this from an article written back, I believe it's June 25th, 2018. 2018. And this particular information, and I like to give credit to what credit is due. I didn't write the article. Once again, the article was written July 25th, 2018 by a Gabriel Sanchez. And I simply, I'm just recapping what he said with regards to this information. It's out there, it's available. You may even have it already, but it's just something I thought I like to talk about today. So this final expense insurance, once again, it's going to cover your funeral and your burial costs and other outstanding debts that the deceased person may occur. Okay, so after they're dead and gone, there still may be outstanding debt. If there's a home, if there's some major things. Usually these policies range between $1,000 and $50,000. So with that being said, there are many people that have large assets. Okay, these large assets will allow you to let me put it like this: the large assets, if you have a home, $500,000 home, and you just purchased it, you haven't paid it down, you know, you have a lot going on, you have a lot of different things that are outstanding, that $50,000 won't be enough. In that case, there's other insurances that should be in place if you have those type of assets. Okay, but keep in mind, with this final expense insurance, there are some things that you have to take into account. Now, it's easy to get this particular policy. It's easy to get. It's usually for those that are later on in life. If you purchase this policy, okay, it's going to be paid directly to whoever the beneficiary is. Okay, these types of policies usually are purchased later in life. So later in life, so say if you're 60, you have no insurance, but you know something's going on, you know, children, somebody can put some insurance on you, just enough to bury you. You know, that's how we say it, just enough to bury you. Okay, now with this type of insurance, there's not an exhaustive uh, medical examination. You know, you're going to answer a few questions, but keep in mind, here's some of the questions. Is the customer confined to bed? Do they have a non-intervened aneurysm? Okay. Have they been diagnosed with Alzheimer's, AIDS, or other terminal illnesses? Now, listen to this. These diagnoses may lead to disqualification or a graded benefit period. Now, what that means is where the payment coverage is reduced during the first couple of years of the policy. So keep that in mind. There will, you know, if you have some of those type of conditions, you can get the insurance, but as time moves on, that policy will decrease. Okay, so that's just general information about final expense insurance. Now, life insurance. Life insurance. Most people have life insurance. You know, you get life insurance when you're younger, when you're a kid, when you're a baby. You know, a lot of people get that insurance, and you just never know what's going to happen. So you want to have insurance in place. That's just something that we've always been taught. You know, get some insurance. Always get some insurance. So with life insurance, this should be standard practice for most people. It should be, but unfortunately, it's not. Now, this means what this is going to do is with life insurance, it's going to consider all kind of financial burdens of the deceased. You know, when they're gone. In addition to funeral costs, this includes loss of income and debt related to medical bills, credit cards, auto loans, or mortgages. So life insurance is a better policy, given you can afford that. And here again, that's life insurance, but you also have term life insurance. Now, premiums and coverage will depend on the type of insurance requested, permanent, or term. So there are different types. You got to get with the insurance agent, broker, whomever, to kind of help you determine what would be the best policy for you. Permanent insurance policies offer lifetime coverage and can build cash value as long as premiums are paid. As long as premiums are paid. So that permanent insurance, that's sort of like a Globe Life, you know, the little policies that you get in the mail when the kids are babies. You know, they get, you can pay a very small fee every month for your child. And that stays the same. It does not change. And that's the attractive part of the permanent insurance policies. Now, the coverage will remain intact, but keep in mind, you just have to continue to pay your premiums. Now, due to a broad type of coverage offered, more thorough checks of your medical history are expected, as well as substantially higher premiums. There's going to be, you know, you're going to pay a little more. They're going to dig a little deeper because here you're talking about permanent, long-term, making it throughout, right? Term life policies, on the other hand, now term life, see, the other was permanent insurance, but there's also term life. Term life insurance policies, on the other hand, do not offer lifetime coverage and are instead set for a specific number of years, 5, 10, 20. Now, because of this, premiums are inexpensive compared to permanent. However, this also means that when the term expires, customer no longer is insured. So be careful with your term insurance. Okay? Just be careful. You know, right at the end of that 10-year mark or that 20-year mark, you may feel, I know I had insurance. I paid it up. I paid my policy up. Well, what type of policy was it that you paid up? That's something you need to look into. If you haven't checked your policies lately, go ahead and check that, okay? Just make a note to yourself to check your policies. So let's go into pre-need insurance. Now, we talked about the end of the final expense insurance, but we're talking about a pre-need insurance. Pre-need insurance or prepaid plans. Now, these are offered by funeral homes. I myself have a policy, pre-need. I will never, and I won't say never, but I've given my family instructions concerning me at the end of my days. Don't take me to that funeral home, that plot. No, we'll leave it, donate it to another family member. Whatever. Not me. Won't go there. Won't be a part of that facility. Horrible experience. Let it be noted. I won't call the name. I'm not going to be messy, but just know, horrible experience. Wouldn't recommend them to my pet. I'll just say from the front office. Now, out in the garden area, they were very kind, very gracious. They did what they were supposed to do. I'm very satisfied with that part. But the other part, no words can express or explain my dissatisfaction for how unprofessional and how things just went about. Okay, so I'm not going to go on a tangent. I said I wasn't even going to mention that, but I had to bring it up. All right, so let's talk about what the pre-need insurance or prepaid plans offer. So what this is, funeral homes across the country, as a means to manage and pay for funeral services. This is something that they offer, okay? They offer this, and by predetermining what is going to be covered, the service providers take care of everything related to the process, thereby removing one's less worry for the next of kin. So what happens? So say you paid out your policy, your pre-need insurance, you paid that up, you paid everything off. Well, as insurance companies, as funeral homes, they go out of business, and that's one of the risks. And it's a present level of risk that you have to take into consideration. For starters, they're not as affordable as final expense policies. It's always a hook somewhere. Furthermore, plans are established directly with the specific home and are non-transferable. So say if you move out of the state and you have your plan with a particular funeral home, that cannot be transferred. They'll have to ship your body back to that particular state to take care of what you had purchased. So be careful, read the small print. Now, funeral homes can go out of business, and customers here, this is something here, customers additionally coverage can be guaranteed or non-guaranteed. So what that says is, if they go out of business, in some of your instances, if it's non-guaranteed, it says payments made will cover services regardless if future costs for such services go up. Now, let me go back here because I don't want to kind of, like I said, I'm taking from someone else's notes, Mr. Sanchez. And basically what he's saying, costs can go up. And if the costs go up with the new funeral home because it's taken, things have shifted. So what you paid for may have covered what you thought was total. Everything is covered, but there are other costs that will incur. So keep that in mind. No, everything was paid off. I know everything was paid off. No, you don't know. Especially if there have been changes. If there have been changes with that company, say they merge with other companies, say they're trying to restructure, there will be other costs that will occur, that you will incur. And they usually do. However, with non-guaranteed coverage, family members may need to pony up the additional payments to cover for the charges and costs. That's just what I said. Different funeral homes, very different pricing options for similar packages. So if you decide to go this route, please shop around. Please shop around. Okay? Now, self-funded funerals and burials. Self-funded funerals and burials. Now, self-funded means that any death-related expense will be paid directly from the personal savings or financial assets. This means benefits in the case avoiding a middleman. Savings are set aside in CDs, savings, or investment accounts and used for this specific purpose. Now, instead of overpaying for services, which a lot of it is fluff. A lot of it is fluff. So as I was saying, a lot of it is fluff. Things that we purchase when we're in that moment and we're just trying to make those final decisions. If we don't have these measures in place, we will just have all kind of different things that we're adding to the cost of our funeral services. So the self-funded funeral services and burials, this is taken care of, like I said, by CDs that have been set aside, savings, or investment accounts to be used specifically for this purpose. Okay? Now, with this option, customers maintain control of their finances, potential earning interest, and not committed to services beforehand. Listen, I know a lot of people are against cremation. They don't want that. They don't want that. They want to be buried in a casket, mausoleum. They want to be put in the ground. Give me my flowers where I'm living. I can't see one flower. I can't see the beautiful casket. I can't see the beautiful crate that you're gonna in the mausoleum. I can't see any of that. Now, for the family members, yes, that's a place for you to go and you can sit and you can think and just kind of reminisce about what was and what just all those things. So there is a place for it. Don't get me wrong. There is a place for all of that. But when you're talking about making these decisions, you just want to be careful. You want to be careful that you're spending correctly. I've seen many, many, many people throw up a GoFundMe page because they don't have the funds in place or they're trying to pull money from everywhere. It could happen to all of us. It could happen to any of us. But I hope today that with this general information that I provided, that you'll set some time aside to go to the site. Once again, like I said, this particular site, and there's others out there, but this one in particular, it's a lot of information, not just final expense needs, but all type of insurance. If you're a landlord, they have landlord insurance on here. If you're a tenant, they have renter's insurance, boat insurance, you name it, all different type of insurances that are out there. But not only that, okay, so say if you're looking for health information, this site, they've done the work, okay? And when I say they've done the work, they've kind of got together and they did a sort of like an AARP, I guess. They did a lot of research into what to bring to the consumer. Once again, it's called, hear what I'm saying, it's called, consumeradvocates.org. Consumersadvocate.org. And with that in mind, you have so much that you can find from this site. It's really worth going and checking out. Now, you may know someone that has, that's an agent. That's an agent. I personally have one, a very good person. She works for Lincoln Heritage Funeral. And her name is Carmen Anderson. I'm mentioning her name because she's a wonderful person. Wonderful person, good people skills. She'll come to you. She'll explain to you exactly what it is that you need. Now, if you want to reach out to Carmen, send me an leave me a message in the comments section, and I'll get her information out to you. She'd love to come and sit and talk with you. Listen, I'm not getting anything from this, zero. But know that she is a licensed agent for Lincoln Heritage Funeral. Okay. There are others that are licensed. They're out there. If you know them, reach out, get in touch with them, find out your information. A lot of information is online. Globe Life is online. Colonial Penn, you see their advertisements on TV all the time. That $9.99 policy. Look into it. Look into it. I mean, what is it gonna cost you? It's not gonna cost that much. An average cost of cigarettes for those that smoke, average, this is a national average, $6.96, almost $7 for a pack of cigarettes. Now, I'm not a smoker, but I know if I'm smoking a pack a day, come on, a pack a day? A pack a day of cigarettes. So let's do some whole numbers, right? So a pack a day, if you have 30 days in a month, that's $210 a month for a pack of cigarettes a day. Now, certainly you could afford some insurance, some life insurance, some health insurance, some funeral, some type of insurance, okay? Long-term, short-term insurance. I mean, you get hurt on the job, you lose your job, you pay for this insurance, you're going to be covered for a couple of months, 6 months or so. And with that, during that time of you healing, if you lose your job, then you're able to get another job, hopefully. But in that downtime, Affleck always talk about paying when you're injured. There's just so much out there. So do your research. I know I went a little long today, but I want to kind of go through this because the time's going to come and you're going to need that coverage. And the worst thing is trying to gather up those funds and feeling that pressure from the funeral home, feeling that pressure from family members that always have that input, but they have so much to say, but doesn't have anything to put into the pot, as they say. You want it like this. You want it like that. You want this kind of casket. You want that kind of casket. You want them to be dressed like such and so. Let's get your affairs in order. This is a part of Choices Now TV, provoking you to think about some things that we generally don't think about, generally don't talk about. Okay, so until next time, I appreciate you staying with me. It went a little long today, but I just wanted to kind of go over these things. And until next time, this is Choices Now TV. I appreciate you taking the time to stay with me. And until next time, have a great day.